So my name's Lorraine. I live on the Fraser Coast in Queensland, Australia, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. So today I have for you an explosion card. I think it's called a star explosion card. It's one that Sam Calcott did. I like to watch her stuff. She does a lot of stuff that's a lot bigger than we do it here, and I actually don't mind the half A4 or whatever size. I don't find that too big at all, and it's easy to get an envelope for. So I'm going to do that today. Hopefully I won't get in the kerfuddle that I went in yesterday. And I will do you know what? Afterwards, I thought, why? You knew exactly what to do. But anyway, where are we? 1 week today, just 1 week today, 10 minutes ago, if the flight's on time, we will be airborne. Okay, so I ordered a couple of kits. Actually, bear with me for 2 seconds. I'm just going to go and get something. Okay. If you knew my house, you would know that I had to run that because it's a very long house. But yesterday I got an order, and I'll show you these because they're rather nice, and they're what I'm going to be taking on the plane with me. Well, not all of them. I will have to take them out of the box, but yeah. And also then hopefully I can do something whilst I'm over there. I had a look last night to see how I could do a video and schedule it. But when it said, you know, do a live video, and I don't know whether at the end of it, it then says that I can schedule it. So I'm going to do a very quick test one today and then see how I go. Alrighty, so I'm not going to muck around. We do still have that really exciting starter offer. Here it is. I'll show you that quickly before I move ahead, but yeah, let's go down to the desktop, which I'm sure my mother will tell me does not look very tidy today because I've got stuff all over it. Okay, starter kit. From up until the 31st of May, new demonstrators can get 303 Australian dollars worth of goodies for just $169. That is huge. Like, that is such a big saving on your products. So it's an extra $134 worth of products for free. Then once you've joined, you get 20% off of all your orders. And then on top of that, you get your 10% rewards points of orders over $65. You can join for as long as you want, a week, a month, a year, forever. It's entirely up to you. Also, on your starter kit, you get free postage. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But now would be an ideal time to save yourself some money. Like I said, you don't have to do videos. You don't have to talk to the public. You don't have to do classes or anything like that. Just to even come in as a hobby demonstrator would be perfect. Just means you get all your stuff. You get good quality stuff, but it's all a lot cheaper. Alrighty, so this is the card we're going to make today. Oh, no, I was going to show you these, wasn't I? So I decided to get some kits. I have had a couple of kits, and I must admit, I really don't mind them. So this one is called Maritime Moments. Let me move this off of here for a second. This one's called Maritime Moments, And in here, of course, there's envelopes, there's tear and tape, and there's some like linen thread. There's some little dots plus dimensionals, and then in there we've also got a block. We have some cute little stamps. I think they're rather cute. There's one there with a boat, there's one with flowers. I'm not sure what that one is. I think it might be a map or something. And then there's one of like a house or whatever. You get a little stamp spot. This one's grey granite. And then you get all these gorgeous little toppers that you can use. And you can see I've opened this one and not very well at that. Look at these what do you call it, folded cards. You've got stickers, and then there's sentiments. There's more yachts and stuff in there, and then there's sentiments in here as well. Here, all the sentiments. Look at that. So that's kit number 1. So I'm going to take them out of the boxes and I'm going to put them into bags simply because of the size, really, size-wise. This one is called Share a Smile. And it's all sunny yellows and pretty stuff like that. So we've got tear and tape, we've got little dimensionals, mini dimensionals, envelopes, the pre-folded card. This looks like a box. It's a box of some sort, but no doubt I'll sort that out. Again, we've got all sorts of sentiments. Those ones I think they're in French. I think those ones are German, and there are English ones, of course. I don't speak German. I speak a bit of French. So there are some more cards. There's, I think you could use this one for scrapbooking as well because it's got like little stickers. And then look at these. How cute are these? Just look at that. Beautiful. I love the sloth. Look at the sloth. How gorgeous. And then we've got some leaves, and I can guarantee you there are some English sayings in there. I've obviously just gone past them. All right, so that's that kit. So these are coming with me. These are going on the plane or in the luggage, ready to take to the UK. And then the last one I got, this one is, this one, oh, I think that might have come out of the other one. No, I've already done that one, haven't I? That's the, okay, put them in the wrong way. There we go. And then we have this one, which is called Beautiful Blues. And they are gorgeous blues. So we have a Night of Navy ink spot. We have tear and tape, another block. So that must have come out of the last one. We have, all of these have instructions as well. Where are we? Look at this. How beautiful is that? Good morning, Mum. You are here again. Hi, Tanya. How are you? So this is, these are the pre-folded cards. And then we've got some little tags there. And then there's more cards. Just beautiful. I love the colors on these. Absolutely love it. Hi, good morning, Suzanne. How are you? We've even got, look, some cutouts. And you know what? I was thinking I'll probably save at least one of those because you could so easily use that and you know, go over the top of it for a background. Here's some of the cutouts that we can use in there. envelopes, of course. Okay, so there's a bit of everything. I love this blue one. I think it's really, really cute. Look at those blue gems. They're really cute. And we have this little stamp set, which until I can stamp it, I really can't read what it says. A bit of greenery and some sentiments there. So how gorgeous is that? So these are what I'm taking with me, and of course out of the box they're going to fit nicely. I'll just put them in a Ziploc bag or something and take them with me. There we go. All right, I just had to show you those. Okay, so today's card. Today's card is hi Holly, how are you this morning? Everyone's saying hello to you, Mum. Okay, so like I said, it's one of Sam Calcott's. She is an English demonstrator. She doesn't necessarily use Stampin' Up products. She actually does have a range of products herself. Not that I use them or buy them, but she does. And this is what we're going to do today. Okay. So we're going to do that. When we do something like this, we can put a bit of decoration on the front, but not too much, because you've got the belly band that's going to go on. And the belly band is basically what we decorate on the outside. On the inside here, I'll show you how to do a little tiny thing to make a pop-up in the middle there, and also how to do these. So this is what we're going to make today. So let's get into it. So I have decided that I would like to do it in Pretty Peacock. I love this color, and I was just going through my bits and pieces yesterday, and I realized I have a whole pack of this that I haven't used. Isn't that lovely? Okay, I know that I've used I used some somewhere, but I haven't used it in a long time. So I'm going to do Pretty Peacock on Pretty Peacock, but I am going to have a white middle. So that's where we're going. Oh, I've got, oh no, I don't know if that's big enough for anything. Okay, so now the sizing for this. All right, so now I've put my, what have I done with that? How can you lose? Oh, there it is. You haven't lost it at all, right? And I really haven't decided what I'm going to use on the front of it yet. So, hi Sue, how are you today? Good to see you all here. All right, so I might just pop that bit to one side. And our base card is 10 inches by 7 inches. So you can tell straight off that that it's a wider card or bigger card than we usually use. So we'll do the 7 inches, and then we'll go across at the 10 inches. Now there's a little bit of scoring in this, but it's not hard. So we're going to score this at 2.5, 5, and 7.5. So we're going to take that to there. Let me move all that out of the way. So 2.5. 5. And 7.5. Now that's going to give us an M-shaped card. Sue said a big hello to Mum. So there you go. So there's our M-shaped card. Okay, so that's what we're working with today. And you can see, let me open this one. You can see the M in the background there. All right. Now, the next piece is the centerpiece. So I'm going to do this on white, and I don't think I have a piece big enough. I'll just have to, no, let me grab a piece. I am so going to have to buy white when I get back, both thick and normal. Oops. Okay, so this one is 5 by 10. And then it's actually scored at the same. So we're going to go 5 by 10. And it is going to be scored at 2.5, 5, and 7.5. So 2.5. 5. And 7.5. Okay, so that's the scores on there for now. Now, what we're actually going to be doing, if you fold this at the 5.5 mark, you can see you've got 2 5 by 5 pieces. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make the center explosion part. So we already have this, this, and this. We're now going to add these. Now, you can see here, I went off a little bit. It's really important to get these corner to corner. So you can either do it on your score with scoring on here, or if you prefer to score by hand, you can do that with a ruler and score by hand. I don't really mind which way I do it. I do have a scoreboard here. This is a very old scoreboard, and I would have to place it on here like this to use it. And have I even got a, I've only got a plastic one here, and I would really prefer to use a steel one, but I can show you with this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a cross on that one, and we're going to do a cross on this one. I'll probably end up doing them with my scoreboard, with my trimmer. But I'll just show you on here. If you're wanting to use a scoreboard, you just put the point in there and that part there, and then you turn it around. I know the scoreboards that we have with Stampin' Up are a lot different to this. Like I said, this is an extremely old one. And then you just do the cross like that. And because I haven't got a steel one, but yeah, you can see I've done that cross there. So that's if I was going to use the scoreboard. And like I said, I would have preferred to use a metal one of these rather than a plastic one. But we can do exactly the same thing on here by making sure that that line is right where the groove is, and that is right where the point down here, sorry, you can't quite see that, the point there is, and you can use your scoring and just go up and back like that. Okay, and then you can do exactly the same. Make sure that's right there and the point is right up in that channel, and you can do that. All right, so that is the explosion part of our card. So you can see what we'll do. We'll just, these all need to be folded onto those lines. So we can do that. And then we can do that. And of course, the one that goes straight across. So that's what we have that side, and then we're going to do exactly the same this side. This is where, if you've made a little bit of an error with your scoring, you can usually sort it out with the bone folder here. Okay, and then this one goes up to there. And then, of course, we've got our straight across. So that gives us this. So you can see the center goes down. When you push the center down, okay, those are going to go that way. When you push the center down, you will start to see these parts pop up. Let's make sure we've got that the right way. All right, so the center goes down. These go up, 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 like that. You know what? These just normally just go voomp, 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 and that's it. But today, are they going to do that? Of course not. There you go. That's how it goes, and it folds in quite easily. Push it to where you need it to be to make any changes with your, and there's your first side. Now we just need this side to play the game. And it's that piece that doesn't want to. There we go. Come on. Ah. Can't think why it's not doing it. The other side went perfectly. Down. There we go. There we go. So this is a little bit, this is one of the patterns that we actually used a few weeks ago when we did tea bag folding. Okay, so there's our center. So it doesn't take very long, as long as you hold your tongue right and you get everything sorted. And I'm just going to clean off that board because it's sticky there. I don't want sticky. It doesn't take that long once you get it going. So that's what we've got. So that's the one I showed you there. So here's our base, and now this will fit into here like this. And that makes our explosion card. So when we open it, it does that. All right, what I am going to do is just take a very smidgen, and I mean a smidgen, off of either side of here so that it reduces, and I mean, look, this is all I've taken off. It reduces the chance of that actually showing through when we close the card. It might have taken a bit less off that side. All right, so let's have a look. This is going to sit. We're basically going to attach it at the sides, but we're going to attach it in the middle first. So that middle triangle there. Before we do that, I'm going to do something different this time, although I will show you this. You can see up in here those odd shaped pieces. All right, so you can do it that way, or you can do it the way I'm going to do it today. But the way you get those odd shaped pieces is really quite easy. if you find a ruler. So you cut yourself a piece of card, which is, what have I got there? 2 1/4 by 3. Okay. And then on the across the 2 1/4 side, you take 3/4 of an inch and you can fold it up like that, or you don't have to. Then what you do, because bearing in mind you've got this bit, you take your scissors from the corner of that fold up into there. That way then you have that shaped piece which will go in and like that in there. So it's one of the ways that you can make those, people look at those and think, oh, that's a weird shape. How am I going to do it? And that's the easiest way to do it. Obviously, with these, you cut yourself the square and you cut them in half. All right. But today, what I'm going to do is so each one of these, what is it? I think it's 2 1/2 and obviously by 7. So 2 1/2 by 7. I'm going to cut 4 strips. So I'm going to go 2 1/2 less 1/8. Make sure it's in there straight. Okay, 2 1/2 less 1/8 by 7. Less 1/8. So I'm taking the 1/8 off to give us a border. Okay, so now that will fit on there and it will have a tiny little border to it. So obviously the next one's not going to be big enough, so I will do this one the same. So 2 1/2 less 1/8. And well, it's 6 7/8, isn't it? That. So now we have that piece and that piece. We need 2 more. Actually, have I got a piece of that scrap? Because it might be. Yes, I do. Oh, well, that's all right. We'll just leave it as it is for now. So I've got to keep going the same way. So 2 1/2 less 1/8. So that's our third one. So instead of trying to tell everybody what size I'm actually cutting it, I find it easier. When I do it in my mind, I do the actual size less 1/8. And then if I'm doing another border, I would do that size less 1/8 again. I find it so much easier than trying to, that's okay, Suzanne. That was like me yesterday, wasn't it? I find it easier to do that than to actually, say, oh, it's this and this and something else. So here is what we have so far. So we're going to stick that down. What we could do, oh, look at that. That's different, isn't it? That's very different, that piece. Might be more like that. Oh yes, it's coming into the end there. We'll have that. Should I change that piece? I think I should change that piece and keep that one out. So let me just cut one more. It's only because I want to use that. I think that looks pretty cool. So 2.5. I've got so much stuff on the right hand side of me here. Okay, so I think that looks pretty cool like that. Just bringing in that same color again on that side made a big difference. I'm just hoping I've got enough now to see me through. Otherwise, I'll have to start looking at something else. All right, so we're going to stick these down. Oh, it seems a shame to cover that, but you know what? I just like that other side. So we're going to put these down. And once we've done this, we'll put the mechanism in. And then after that, it's literally just a case of decorating. So that's that piece. And that piece. It's rather pretty paper, this. I'll have a look at the name of it. It is Seasons of Elegance. Oh, I have no idea whether it's still current or not, but it's really pretty. Oh, I think my glue might actually be running out. I do have a spare, so it's all good if I do. Oops, we made a bit of a mess there, so let's slide that across. Oh, bother. That's it. All right. Put a bit of that on there for now. And wipe that off there. It was me worrying about the glue and it was going everywhere. Okay. So that now forms that, and we're going to pop this in here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put glue onto this triangle here. I've got all sorts of pop-ups happening. It is staying. Thanks, Tanya. That's awesome. It's really pretty, isn't it? You know, yesterday, just before I started, I had an order turn up. And then today, just before I started, I had an order turn up. So when it comes to this, you're going to fit this right onto that line there. And you're going to try and get it as central. I mean, if you're really pedantic, then you could measure whether you've got the same distance at the top and the bottom. Otherwise, you could just eyeball it like that. Okay, so there's your card. Now we're just going to stick these two triangles here to the sides. and it helps if you take the lid off. Of the glue. So we're just gonna, it's empty, I can feel it. Okay, so what I like to do is close that over that. And then do the same this side. We'll get it a bit more even though. And then put that like that. And we're going to put the glue. Come on, there's got to be a little bit left. Might be time for a new one. That is really empty. I love getting a new glue. It's another thing I'll have to put on the order. Goodness me. Okay, new glue. Yeah, let's start a bit more in the middle because new glue goes and it goes out everywhere, doesn't it? Excuse the sound effects. And then I'm just going to pop that one over like that. And that one's pretty straight. So that is how we do the inside of the card. So as you can see now, where I cut all those little pieces for the inside of that one, I don't have to do that for this one because the panels have taken. So now I just need the whatever I'm going to put on here. So I'm actually wondering if I should put, so you can see that joins together quite nicely at the front, and then we're going to make the belly band, which I have this piece here, which I can either do it that way or I can do it that way, but we'll cut that in a minute and make the belly band. All right, so the belly band, this one is 1 inch wide. So depending on how much, if you wanted to do a lot of decoration on your belly band, then you would make it probably a bit wider. Okay, now we do also need 2 pieces for the front here. So what do we think I could use? What else have we got that we've got in peacock? Oops. What's that on the floor? No pretty peacock in that one. Oh, this one has pretty peacock in it, but it's not going to fit, is it? Because it's a 6 by 6. No, let's give up that idea and go with maybe one of these. No, that's the wrong glue altogether. Now, see, I should have thought this one out before I started, shouldn't I? Let's have a look in the, see, I've got that. So I can do the fronts. I can do the fronts with that. Let's do it. Let's stick with the same color. Make it easy on myself. So what did we do? 2.5. And then do 7. That one. Actually, that one's a bit too wide because I didn't take it down there. Okay. Now I can stick those two in the front. So stick those, one there and one there. So let's do that. I love the back of this. I think it's really pretty as well. So this one is going to go on there. And then this one is going to go here. Now what you can do if you want to is put 2 white strips on there so that you can do your sentiment, you know, your writing, whatever you want to write. So there is that. And this piece that I've got left over is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to use that for the belly band. But I might use the plain side. So all we do for that is fold that over and have it meet like that. And then you just pop a bit of glue in here. And I'm actually going to take that off so that if it does squidge out everywhere, it doesn't. And then just stick that down. And hopefully I did that at the right. Yep. So then you can see when you put that back on, that's going to go across there perfectly. And there's your belly band. So doing it that little bit wider, it gives an opportunity to put a little bit of extra stuff on there. Now we can fill these in. So if you measure that, you can see that it should be, it's 3.5 by 3.5. So what did we do? What did we do? I think we cut, yeah, we cut a square that was 3.5 by 3.5. And then, so now we need to choose what we're going to actually put onto these pieces here. And that one, those pieces there. We need to decide what we're going to put on there. It does make it easier here. So I'm going to cut a piece that's 3 by 3. Let me have a look at what else is in here, because I may be able to find something that will go with it. Ooh, that would go with it. What do you think? Let's use that. And we'll cut a piece of, oops, no, that was wrong. A couple of pieces of 3 by 3. And then basically what we're going to do is just chop them down through the middle. Is that going to fit? Let me see before I... No, that's those bits. So now we need to cut those in half as well. So we'll cut them that way. And now we'll cut each one in half that way, and that gives us the triangles that are going to fit on here. Or we can just, oh, it's got a red side. We could go with that side, or we could go 1 and 1. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So let's just cut this one. I don't know why my thing started sticking at the top. Probably needs a good clean out. That's probably what the problem is. All right, so that's our pieces. And what we can do, we can either keep them at the gold, which I think we probably will, and we can pop these into these places here. Okay, so we're going to do that. So lots of little bits of sticking, but hey, it's worth it in the long run. So we're going to fit that. It fits leaving a border, which is good. I could have turned that over, but I didn't think, yeah, the gold, definitely, Holly. I didn't want really to introduce another colour. What after we... So just a little bit in here. And then we make a small mechanism for the middle. So it's not really a quick card, but it's not a difficult card, if that makes any sense at all. Lots of paper around. So I still haven't started packing. And I probably should. And it was funny because my friend Sue came over yesterday. She's coming with us. And my dog absolutely adores Sue because she stays with Sue usually when I go away. But obviously this time she can't because Sue's coming with. So I don't know whether she picked up on some vibes that, you know, we were all going somewhere and she was sort of going to be elsewhere. But she was in a, not Susie, the dog, Molly. Molly was in a really weird mood last night. I didn't know if she was sick or if there was something wrong, you know, something else wrong with her. But I actually think she was just picking up on, we're sort of like, it's always a bit stressful trying to work out where you're going to go and what you're going to do and what time you've got to do it in. Because to be honest, although we go for 4 weeks, we could quite easily go for 6 and still probably not get everything done. But yeah, so there is our center. Now we need to make a little clip in here for it. It's just like a little mechanism and it'll give us a pop-up in the center. All right, so let me have a look. So we've got that. I haven't got the measurements, so it's not going to be hard to do. So I'm just going to cut a piece, and it only needs to be about, I don't know, half an inch, 3/4. Let's make it 3/4 of an inch wide. Will that be long enough? Let me see. No. So we do it 3/4 of an inch wide. What am I thinking? Probably a quarter. That's one. So if I do it, let me do it 2.5, because then I can always cut it down. Actually, I'll do it 3. I think that is too long. Maybe not. Okay, and then I'm going to score that. I'm going to score it at 1/4 of an inch. And then 1/2 an inch. So you can make mechanisms like this and then flip that over and do 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 an inch. I probably should have made that a bit bigger, but we'll see. So this is how you can make your own mechanisms for anything. So you can see I've done that, and then just put that up and that down. So you've got this little thing like this. And see how shaped it is there. And then what you can do is you can pop this across here, which means that you can put a pop-up on there, because it will go down when you fold it down. So I could make that one a little bit smaller. What I might do is cut that there, because I only need a small one, and then do, oh bother, put that out the way, and then do 1/4 and 1/2. So you can make the base bits as wide as you like. I've only made these 1/4 of an inch. So yeah, and then you do that, and you push that one up. So you make yourself this little mechanism, which isn't hard to do at all. Alrighty, so, and that sits across here. So we're just going to put a bit of glue on here and on here. And then sort of eyeball that across the middle like that. Push it down and push it in. Okay, so that now gives us this little platform to, what I might do is put maybe a circle. So I'll do 2 circles. How are we going for time? Ooh, this one's taken a bit longer than normal, hasn't it? So what we might do is do, but that's okay. We can deal. Do I want that on there? So it has to fit in when you, so I can do that and that. So I'm going to do the larger one out of the blue, or the turquoise, or the pretty peacock. So let me do the large one. I'm just going to do that down here rather than put that up. Just pop that one through. So that's that one, and then I'm just going to do this one in a white so that we can put a sentiment on it. Okay, so we can put that there, and then we can stick that up in the middle with our sentiment. Okay, hi Marlene, how are you? Good to see you. Now I'm going to pull out my favourite sentiments, if I can find them. I think I had them out the other day actually. These. And I think, let's see if Have a Perfectly Lovely Day will fit on there. Let me see. Yep, it will. All right. So I'm going to stick this onto here. So I'm going to put the glue onto this bit. Like that. And then I'm going to stick that down there like that. So that gives that a little bit of room there. And then I'm going to use my block. And let's stamp in Pretty Peacock. Why not? So has anyone worked out whether Pretty Peacock's green or blue? It's sort of turquoise, isn't it? It's sort of... And what I love about using a circle to stamp on is that it can never be the wrong way. You can just twist it around. Okay, so I'm going to stick this straight down, oops, onto there as well. And that is the inside of our card. So you can see it gives us that bit there so that that sits up and doesn't get in the way of anything. Just cleaning off my stamp. Oh, I don't know if I told you yesterday. I think I might have. I was doing some stamping the other day and I went to clean my stamps and it was like, oh my goodness, they're coming off almost as yucky as they were when I put them on. So I thought, okay, so I took my my stamp cleaner and I ran it through through water, and you should have seen the amount of color that came out of that. It was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. All right, so just to think. So now I put a belly band here somewhere. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so that is the inside of the card. That is the outside. We can pop the belly. Now, with the belly band, you always decorate over the join. So you can put the belly band on, slide it down, and then we decorate this part here. Okay, so what do we want to decorate it with? We can put another disc on there with another sentiment. What did I put on there? have a perfectly lovely day. I think you could put something like "Change Can Be Beautiful" on the front there, which would look rather nice. So you would do another couple of discs. So we can do anything that we want to do. Let's leave that out for a minute. Let's do a couple of discs. So I think I'll do the same size ones as I did for the inside, which was the two biggest ones. Oh. Let me have a look. I really have so much on my desk at the moment, don't I? I think it was, yep. So that one and that one. So I can go with the same colors again and do another one of each of those. Sorry for all the clunking down here. Oops, the smaller one. The bigger one. Okay. Pop those away for now. So we're working on the belly band now. So we can pop that on there with that on the front. We can actually pop that up this time. So I think I'll use Change is Beautiful. Pretty sure that, ooh, it's only just gonna fit, but it will fit. Shall we do that? If it looks ridiculous, I'll just do another one. Stand up, move your tongue in the right direction, Lorraine. You might just get it in there. Ah, look at that. We'll put some bits in it to make it look more, because of the big curly letters either side. Okay, so I thought I might just pop that up with a couple of dimensionals. Let me find this. Now I'm going to put these into the center here. And the reason I'm doing that is just in case I decide I want to stick some stuff like in the sides. One more. Okay, so that is going to go in there like that. And then I'm going to stick that onto the belly band. So I'll stick that straight down. It'll also help to make sure that that closure is, so make sure that's straight, about even, like that. So that's what we've got there. Goes across the front. And then we could sort of do some stuff coming out from under here. So this is why I left space under here, so we can sort of do, so depends how big you want it. Like obviously you probably don't want it quite that big, but you could do some, you could do some flowers or whatever coming out of there. I might just have a quick look in my bit box. Morning, Tanya. Hi, Daryl. I didn't see you come in. What happened? Oh, no. Oh, well, hope you, see if you can get a bit more sleep. Yeah, have a good rest today. All right, I'm just going to have a really quick look in my bit box. I'm not sure that I've got anything in here that will suit, but see, I mean, if it was the right colors, we could have done something like that. Look at that. Looks pretty, doesn't it? Actually, those colors probably wouldn't be too bad. What else have I got in here? That. Got all sorts of bits. Oh, that would probably go because it's got the gold, which we could do. I've only got one of those in here though. Oh, and then we've got another little bit of gold here. Let's see what we can do with this. So I could put that in there. We can pop. Do it out to one side, I think. Would look good. Sorry, I'm chattering to myself here, and this is what I do. Put that in there. That one needs to maybe pop up that way a bit more. And then, because I don't want it coming over the edge because it's already a large card. And then I think that's the same thing. It's just, so we could pop that one there and that one there. And then we could have some gold coming up in the middle. It's pretty, isn't it? It's the what do you call it? No, gone out of my head. Pretty Peacock. Let's take that one out because I've got two of those and one of those. So I could actually work it so that those two went there and that went there, and then possibly put something a little bit smaller in the front. Let me see what I've got that's small. I don't think we need a Christmas tree just yet, do we? Not something a little bit smaller that I can put in the front. Maybe a black one. Maybe not. Really, I need a gold. Oh, look, look at that. Okay, let's see what we can work with that. I probably should put a different color or something in there. I think that's done in Pretty Peacock too. All right, let's have a quick look at what we can do here. We've got to make sure that it doesn't go over the top. So those can go out of the way because I'm not cutting anything new. These, so we could do that one. I can cut them down a little bit. And oops, I just got to go under there. That one. And then we could have a Pretty Peacock in there. And that's also Pretty Peacock. And then possibly put that, I'll cut that down, but put that right at the back. That one's got a bit too much white on it for my liking. I could fussy cut around it a bit. See how that goes. I don't mind a little bit of white showing, and it's taken me ages to get used to that. But I'm quite good with that now. I can cope with a bit of white showing. But you really don't need a 1/4 of an inch around it. So it was possibly the way I die cut it. Pop that out. And when I die cut it, because I have no idea. Okay. Too much on the front. 2 will do. Which 2, Mum? Those 2. Mum is definitely not a fan of Avid cards. So I can sort of, might just even, let me cut that out and I could put that across the bottom part. So I could put that across there, and then let's cut these down a bit because they're a bit big. Put 1 in there and 1 in there, and then just have this one, just the 2 maybe, and maybe that one. I just got a feeling I need something to stick out the top there. Maybe that one in there just to keep the color, and then that there. What do we think? Very basic, but I think it would work. Or just that piece of gold. I don't know. This is where I get very confused. But I'm going to stick these 2 under. Like that one there. And that one there. And possibly that one up through the middle. Let's have a look. These are the stems that I used when I did my card for on stage. Do we need this one as well? They need to stick down. Yeah, let's put that one in there as well. It's going to stick on its own because there's enough glue there. Okay, nice, good. Now you're going to tell me that I shouldn't have put that other one there, aren't you? And then I'm just going to pop this across here. Like that. All right. And that's what bit boxes are for. You never know what you're going to find. Now, I can pop that over there. Put that down there. There's the front of our card with the... And now let's have a look. We really want gold, not silver. So let's see what we've got. We've got that there, which I think is bronze. I don't think it's gold unless it's sitting on its own, and then it could be gold. I haven't really got anything gold. But I'm thinking they could go nicely. I keep pulling them out just lately, don't I? Those are silver, so I'm not really into that. And those would go nicely. So I'm thinking those 2. Oh, hang on. What have I got up here? This is Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Gems. But you know what? These ones up here look like they've got... They actually look really good. See that? They look like they've got gold through them. I think they would suit that perfectly. I'm going to use that. I'm well over time today. So I'm just going to put, I think these are gorgeous actually. So I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to put one there, and put another one over here. And I am going to say that that is finished. All right. Beautiful. Put all that away. And let's have a look at what we've created this morning. They are pretty, aren't they, Holly? Okay, so here's our card for this morning. Now, like I said, you can put white on the back of there if you want to write your message. You can see, slip the band off. You open it up. You could even write your messages in here. You can even fill those in if you want to. Alrighty, so that is our pop-up star explosion card. So I hope you enjoyed that. At least we didn't have the kerfuffle that we had yesterday, which is good. All right, so that's that. Now let me come up to the top camera. There we go. All righty, so thank you so much today for joining me. I really love having you on board with me when I'm doing my lives. If you haven't been in before, thanks Holly, thanks Daryl. If you haven't been on before, then if you could subscribe, press the bell, share, all the different things, all of the above, that would be absolutely wonderful. The more we get subscribed to, or the likes or whatever that we get, it helps the channel to move forward and get out there to more and more people. Okay, thank you, Tanya. Thanks, everyone. And I will see you all soon. I have to go off and do a delivery now. Okay, thank you so